My dear students and other participants, I welcome you all to this session. I deem it as a privilege to talk on this wonderful topic called stress management. Stress is a common factor nowadays and it is a common commodity that is available in the global market. In this present day society, every individual is stressed, sometimes beyond imagination. Battling with stress is inevitable for every individual. So it is very essential for us to know how to handle this stress and how to keep this stress within the limits, how to control the stress. We will try to learn. I will try to share my experience, if not expertise, with you regarding this stress management. And let us start with the definition and also let us try to know the nature of stress, followed by the root causes of stress, and ultimately we'll be learning about solutions also in this session. It's only a brief session. I'll be taking only 15 minutes of your time, because if I take more time, this will create another stress in you. So I will try to wind it up within a reasonable period of time. Stress is a psychological factor. No doubt sometimes stress is also considered as a physical factor if the person is not feeling healthy, and if any individual is having some problem with health or metabolic activities, he may feel stressed. But nowadays, physical stress is less when compared to psychological stress. We are imagining this stress factor. That means we are making mountains out of moles. In fact, we are magnifying each and every problem. You are not considering problem as an opportunity. You are seeing the negative side of the problem, not the positive side. So because of this reason, psychologists feel that stress is majorly a psychological factor rather than a physical factor. And stress is considered as a positive force. You need not take this stress as a negative force always, because too much of stress may cause some sort of mental deadlocks in you, but reasonable stress is required. Unless you have reasonable stress, you can't take up some assignment. Unless I have got stress, reasonable stress within me, I will not prepare for this session. So minimum stress is required, minimum tension is required. But see that it will be under your control. You try to be the master to this stress. Don't allow the stress to handle you. In turn, you try to handle the stress. So as long as you keep your stress as a positive force, it will not harm you, and it will not harm the society also. But the moment you convert this stress into a negative factor, then you will be harming yourself, and also you will be harming the people who are in your surroundings. If you are stressed, it indicates that you are living. Why I am calling this stress as a positive force? All organisms in this universe, all organisms in this world will have minimum stress. Only dead sponges will not have stress. Only dead sponges will not have stress. The very fact that you are living, you have to respond to the various stimuli that are coming from outside. In this transaction with the environment, in this transaction with the individuals, in this transaction with the human society, there is every scope for building up some sort of stress factor. But you should keep this under control. So stress is a common factor, common phenomenon of any living individual. Unless you are dead, you will not be free from stress. So the very fact that you are living, it indicates that you will be entertaining some sort of stress. So stress is required. Stress is a positive force. Don't throw this stress into a negative shade. Keep it in a positive shade. This positive stress is called eustress. Negative stress is called distress. Don't convert eustress into distress. So here you have to hit a balance. So you can't totally avoid stress, but you can hit a balance where you will not allow to convert this stress into a negative factor. So stress is a psychological factor. Maybe if your attitude changes automatically, the factor or the element or the parameter that is causing stress may vanish. Life is beautiful. Don't make life as complicated phenomenon. Try to be very simple and be open to the surroundings. Always work with a positive attitude. You have this positive attitude even towards stress also. So positive stress, namely eustress, is very, very essential, and that is required also. So don't allow this positive stress to become negative stress. Causes of stress. I already told that every living individual and every living organism in this universe will have stress, except dead sponges. Even living sponges may not have stress factor because they don't have nervous system. If you are brainy, you have to face the stress. You have to face it. You have to handle it. If you have got more IQ, you feel more stressed. If someone says that I don't have any stress, most probably he may not be having higher IQ levels. He may be an idiot. Idiots will not have stress. Only intelligent people will invite stress, will welcome stress, and will handle them. Will handle it also. Yeah, let us see the root causes of stress. Many of us do not know how to handle the stress, of course, it's true. Because we don't know how to convert this stress into a positive force. We try to avoid stressful conditions. And this makes it more complicated. This makes the situation more worse. For example, during my schooling, I did not have enough IQ levels to solve mathematical problems. So in mathematics class, I felt more stress when compared to other classes. Even the teacher who has dealt with my syllabus is a ferocious gentleman. He believed in punishment rather than training. That added to my stress. I started developing some sort of aversion towards mathematics. That means stress is man-made. Sometimes maybe self-made, and sometimes your neighbor may be the reason for your stress. For the stress within the student, teacher may be the cause. And for the stress in the teachers, student may be the cause. You have to rightly identify the exact root of the stress. So because of this reason, I used to avoid mathematics classes. I used to bunk the classes. As a result, I never became expert in mathematics. Even today, I don't know even basics of mathematics. This has become a handicap in my career. Many times, of course. Of course, I'm not regretting, but I'm accepting that. Accepting the defeat will reduce the stress. Accepting the defeat will reduce the tension. So because I used to avoid that stressful condition that was originally present in my mathematics class, I developed more stress subsequently because I don't know how to solve a particular problem. Whenever a digital problem comes to me or whenever a mathematical problem comes to me, I used to cut a sorry figure. So don't try to avoid stressful conditions. If you are thrown into a stressful condition, you try to solve it, you try to face it positively. And stress is inevitable from womb to tomb, of course. Tomb is the destination for every individual, and there all stress vanishes, no doubt. But imagine yourself, you try to recapitulate yourself. You try to enter into time machine and go back into the womb of mother. When you are present in the womb of the mother, how stressful you might have felt, because that is only a narrow space within which you have to accommodate yourself by folding your limbs always. You can't weep, you can't laugh, and you have to lead a imprisoned life for nearly 9 months. Even then, you managed that. Nowadays, people who are living in mansions, they are feeling stressed. No point. You have led a comfortable life in the womb of the mother where there is only a small space. And sometimes, if you happen to be a twin, you might have adjusted the same space with another sibling. That means you know how to manage the space, you know how to manage the time, you know everything. But you have forgotten due to various factors. And even our birth is painful and stressful. Our birth is painful to us and also to mother. Vaginal passage is a narrow passage. When the baby is squeezed out of uterus due to contraction of the uterus muscles, when the baby is coming out of the vaginal passage, that might have created greater stress in the baby. That means stress is not new to us. We have been experiencing this stress right from our birth, even before our birth in the womb. It's a known enemy for us. You should be afraid of unknown enemies like COVID-19. But stress is not an unknown enemy. And surprisingly, the death rate of corona, if you compare the death rate of stress, the death rate of corona is less. People are dying out of fear. People are dying out of stress. Even disease will cause stress. That means ultimate reason for the death of anyone is stress, that's all. Maybe physical stress, maybe mental stress, maybe any sort of stress. Maybe some sort of environmental stress. Stress is a selection force. Normally, nature creates a stress and see that how you come out of that stress. And if you don't come out of the stress, you will be just branded as unfit to survive. So nature is giving you some sort of entrance test. It is filtering. It would like to develop human society in terms of intelligent quotients, in terms of problem solving like that. So even in the womb and during parturition, you experience the stress and it is not new to us. So it's very easy to deal with known enemy. So you try to convert this distress and you try to de-stress yourself. You come out of that stress. You ventilate your feelings, you ventilate your grievances, you accept your failure. Accepting failure reduces half of your tension, half of your stress. Don't think that you are invincible. You may be very great. You may be very great in your family, or you may be very great in your own native place. But you are nothing before nature. You are nothing before nature. So imagine, even if you go by the statistics of this corona infection, many of the people who belong to royal family, they are coronated. They are infected with this corona. Nature has its own tactics, and nature is tactful. Nature has got its own tact to eliminate people based on its own parameters, based on its own standards. So don't go towards a distress. You try to de-stress. You try to come out of this stress factor. Stress management is an art, according to so many people. But I feel that stress management is more science than an art. And you have to solve the problem of stress not with heart, but with brain. If you solve anything with heart, then you can call it as an art. But brain is required, not emotion. To manage stress, intelligence is required. Your emotions may reduce the stress of others, but your own emotions may cause you some sort of disaster. Anyway, now let us see the causes of stress. Some people, they are called borderline personalities. They are always stressful, they always cause stress to others and also to themselves also. Those are the people with negative tendencies. I am not talking about them. But I am talking about normal individuals with normal psyche. New assignment, undertaking any sort of new assignment will create some sort of positive stress in all individuals, unless you are overconfident. Whenever you are given a new assignment by your superiors, by your team leader, then you start suspecting your own abilities, whether you are competent enough to deal with this or not. In such cases, whenever a new assignment is given to you, you try to learn all the technicalities of that new assignment. Knowing that reduces half of the tension. And you also try to interact with the individuals who have already dealt with such assignments. You have to read success stories and also failure stories related to that new assignment. Then you will come to know which path is to be avoided and which path is to be followed. So, like that, whenever a new assignment is given to you, it is better to study properly and plan it meticulously, and you weigh the pros and cons of the new assignment. So don't be overconfident. So minimum stress, you accept. This is not peculiar to you. Whenever the new assignment is given to anyone, there will be some sort of stress in every individual. If you feel that it is peculiar to you, then you develop another tension, another factor will be added to your stress. When you feel that it's common, then nothing is a problem. It will not cause any stress in you. High expectations. If our superiors have high expectations on us, then it creates some sort of tension. Normally, you will be seeing this in film industry or in celluloid industry. The heroes who have acted in blockbuster movies, they feel more stress in the next movie because people, that means audience, spectators, mass class people, will have greater expectations on him. When more expectations are pinned against that individual, that will definitely affect the productivity. So don't worry about the expectations, whether people accept you or not. Don't worry, do your duty. In this case, I would like to cite one of the best directors, Ram Gopal Verma. He will not care for either failure or success. He will enjoy the both. So don't have high expectations regarding yourself, and at the same time, if your superiors have got high expectations regarding you, you tell them very clearly, these are the practical possibilities, these are the practical outcomes which we can expect, not more than this, sir. So next one is new environment. Sometimes assignment may be old. For example, if you are a teacher, if you are transferred to a new place, then your nature of assignment is not changed, but the place of work is changed. New faces around you will cause some sort of uncertainty. In such cases, you try to build up some sort of social connectivity with people. And normally, if you observe any person who is hyperactive and who is more extrovert, will not have stress. They will transfer stress to others, that is different. But by themselves, they never feel stress. So, new environment, you wait for 1 or 2 days, automatically people will get connected to you. So, new environment also causes some sort of stress. But for some people, if this new environment is absolutely new, absolutely unknown previously, in such cases, it may cause tremendous stress. If you are transferred to a place within your state or within your zone, it's not a problem. But suddenly, if you are transferred to some sort of overseas assignment where people are totally new and you don't know the language of that land, where the communication is a hurdle, is a problem, then definitely stress will build up. In such cases, you try to understand this new environment properly and you try to pick up the local language as early as possible once your visa is sanctioned, or before visa is sanctioned, because your trip is confirmed, you try to pick up that language and you try to understand the climatic conditions and geographical conditions of that. And sometimes in the new environment, you may not get the menu you like. For example, I'm a vegetarian, and if I'm placed in an area where vegetarian food is not available, then for me there is no other option than leaving my job. So in such cases, you have to take the right decision, whether to stick to your principles or go with the wind. Both ways will reduce the stress. If you want to leave the job, it's better, but don't do it in a fit of emotion, because for every problem there is a solution. For every lock there is a key. You try to arrive at conclusions, don't jump at conclusions. So you try to understand the new environment and you try to learn some language of that particular land and get connected to the people before you go there online, because nowadays world has become a global village. Yeah, change in workplace. Sometimes within an area itself, your workplace may be changed from one company to another company, from one college to another college. Ethics will vary from company to company. Work nature, work environment, work ambience, all these factors vary. But get acclimatized to these factors. You can't change the world, but you try to change yourself, accommodate yourself, accept the surroundings, tune yourself. This tuning is very, very essential. Peer pressure. Sometimes our competitor may be a friend, but professionally he is a competitor, will be doing more work, more quality work than you, because he will have some sort of additional advantages. He might be having resourcefulness. He may be having certain technical skills. He may be having linguistic skills more than you. In such cases, it creates some sort of pressure. But this is a positive force. Unless you will have a better competitor, you will not shine. You will relax. If you are always in touch with success, and if you don't know the taste of defeat, you will simply relax. You will not improve your skills. So you accept this peer pressure, but don't get stressed. Comparison. This is very crucial. Don't compare yourself with any other guy. It's an insult. You are unique and he is unique. Only thing is, you try to make a SWOT analysis. You try to identify your strengths and weaknesses and try to explore the opportunities and try to remove the threats. That's all. Postponement. This is the major reason for stress. Especially this postponement is seen in case of students. I used to postpone my preparation for examinations. We used to have only academic yearly exams because there was no semester system during our days. Thank God. I was not so stressful. I used to sit for studies only at the fag end of the academic year. Then, after seeing the vastness of the syllabus, I used to get perturbed. I used to have so much of stress. Sometimes I felt as if I'm going to collapse. Don't do this, for God's sake. You try to learn syllabus day wise. Immediately the lesson is over in the class, when your teacher or when your mentor has taught you something in the class, immediately you try to learn and you try to add something to that. You try to make value additions to his teaching. You try to browse online courses. You try to gather information from internet. So don't procrastinate, don't postpone your preparation. And don't relax, first of all, especially during lockdown period, because there are no classes. Students are just enjoying the leisure. They are not participating actively in any seminars or in any classes. But if you get adopted to this laziness, it's not easy for you to again gear up the preparation. So keep on learning, keep on reading, keep on doing things, keep on imbibing new things. Don't postpone. You try to complete the syllabus, and if the syllabus is completed, the revision can be done and the new things can be learned. For example, if the syllabus for this semester is over, and if you are very good at this semester syllabus, then you can also go for next semester syllabus. You can learn that also in advance. Nothing wrong. You try to be ahead of others always. So attitude, this is also important. Some people think that they alone are correct and they don't accept the greatness of others. In this nature and in this universe, each and every individual has got his or her own capacities and capabilities, strategies. We should magnanimously accept the greatness of others. If your companion or if your colleague or if your classmate is doing something marvelous, you try to pat him. Don't try to drag him to the ground levels. You try to encourage him. You help him. You also actively participate in that particular task. So positive attitude will reduce the tension, will reduce the stress. And if you have got positive attitude, people will come to your rescue. Whenever you feel stressful, people will come to your rescue. So this attitude is very important. Lack of planning. If you don't know how to plan, then it creates stress. For example, for a student, he has to plan his academics in scientific manner. He has to adhere to some sort of timetable and has to study all parts of the syllabus, and he should also plan for examination, on-job training, practicals, record writing, seminars, etc. So you try to develop some sort of time frame. You should identify which is important, which is not important, which is urgent, which is not urgent, which is urgent but not important, but which is not urgent but important. Like that, you try to divide the priorities. You try to make a priority list. This is called planning. If you plan, then stress will never come to you. How to overcome? Be open-minded, be transparent, try to be logical, try to maintain good contacts with others. People will come to you just by a single call. You are only a click away from people. People are always ready to help you. World is not too bad as you think. World is not really too bad. Still, this world is full of good people. Only thing is, you are not tapping them properly. You are not exploring them properly. Take the initiative. Don't run away from the situation. Don't escape. You try to take the initiative. Plan meticulously. As I already told, if you're a student, you try to plan your academics, and if you're a teacher, you try to plan the completion of the syllabus within a stipulated time. And you also prepare notes, online examination, like that. So, meticulous planning definitely reduces stress. And don't make public commitments about your goals. Don't announce your aims and goals. Don't announce. For God's sake, don't announce. Because whenever you make a public commitment, then you will be entertaining some sort of fear whether you can achieve the goal or not. Imagine that you have announced that I am going to become a collector. Then this definitely creates a stress in you, because people will be just watching you and people will be wishing for your failure rather than your success. That's a human tendency. That's a human tendency. You may appreciate your friend who has become collector, but in the hearts of hearts, you feel that how this man has come to this position. He is an ordinary man, as if you are all extraordinary. So this is common. This is a human tendency. So don't announce your commitments openly. Don't make public announcements, for God's sake. Identify the dark areas in your project. Whenever you undertake a new project, and you should study it properly, so that you will come to know where there is lack of data, where you require more equipment, where you require more manpower. So these dark areas should be attended properly. Otherwise, they create a deadlock, and this deadlock will create some sort of stress in you. And as I already told, don't postpone. Procrastination. This is not required. This is the greatest enemy for all of us. So implementation is important. Some people are very good at planning, but they don't implement. That will be kept on paper, but practically they don't implement. In such cases also, they will be experiencing tremendous stress. Yeah, meditation. You try to spare some time for yourself. Meditate. I don't mean to say that you go to Himalaya and dig a hole there and bury yourself there. I don't mean that. Just close your eyes, observe your breathing, do some sort of breathing exercises, or you do some sort of asanas or physical exercises. Go to gym at least. This will reduce the stress factor. Meditation, you may think it's some sort of escapism. Sometimes in meditation, what will happen? Your subconscious mind will come to work, and it may come out with a solution, just like in the dream. So meditation sometimes works miracles. Not always. Don't throw yourself into a fanciful situation or fantasy. But try to be very practical. Meditation means just closing your eyes and getting connected to your inner net rather than in internet. Next one is relaxation. Relaxation. There are many techniques of relaxing yourself. You try to learn them. You try to pick up the fine points of this relaxation and try to follow those exercises. Good habits, this is very important. You try to read at least a book in a week, not on daily basis, at least in a week. When you are a student and when you are pursuing a course for 2 years, 2 academic years, at least you should be in a position to read 10 books at least per year, 10 new books belonging to literature. Don't read the stuff that belongs to your syllabus. That can be done always, because that's a part of your curriculum. But how much of extra knowledge you are adding, that is important. You try to read literature, try to read psychology, you try to learn some foreign language, and you try to engage yourself in good habits like visiting new places, meeting new people, reading good books, contributing articles to the journals, like that. All these things are good habits. How many of you, as students, have these habits. Normally, you'll be chatting in WhatsApp or Facebook, or you may engage yourself in a video call with your girlfriend or boyfriend, who are the sources of stress in the future. So you try to avoid bad habits and try to learn good habits. And good diet, this is more important. If you take nutritive food, then what will happen? Stress will be reduced. If you take nutritive food, stress will be reduced. But this is not difficult always. If you are living in a house, in your home itself, if you are a day scholar, you will have a good diet. But don't expect this in the hostels. Even in hostels, good food may be supplied, but you may not be liking it, because tastes differ as rivers differ. Don't worry about that. You have come to the hostels and you have come to the colleges for learning, not for eating. So whenever you go home, you try to satisfy your tongue. Take nutritive food, take healthy food. Go and sometimes dine in new places, try new varieties. Depend on fluid foods also, liquid foods also. So good diet will reduce the tension, because good diet will give you some sort of energy so that you can tackle any stressful condition. Positive environment, this is very important, this is very essential. People around you are highly energetic, and if they are with a positive attitude, if they encourage you to go in your own path of success, then you will have that driving force. People should drive you positively. So you try to have your own group of individuals with positive attitude around you. Avoid negative people. For God's sake, avoid negative people. So these are the factors which are helpful for you to reduce stress. So in this class, we have learned the intricacies of stress management. It's very easy, and accept that the stress is essential, but make it eustress, but don't throw yourself into distress. And follow these techniques of meditation, relaxation, good habits, good diet, positive environment. Definitely you will manage the stress level and you will reach the topmost pinnacle of your life. Thank you very much.